Hello, everybody. How are you? Hey, we're live streaming. Live streaming. I'm going to start an audio feed here as well, so that's what the microphone is. Hey, so if you're new to the channel, my name is Joe Ditzel. I have a series of books called Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems, and every week I write jokes and essays and put them on my site. So I thought for this, I would just read what I've written the past week and call that a podcast. And part of the incentive is that my real podcast, Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems, on on iTunes or wherever you Stitcher or wherever you get your podcast. By the way, a very good podcast app is Podcast Republic. I'm on Android. It may not be on iPhones. Probably is. I hadn't had taken the time to update the podcast on iTunes, and so it's week goes by, 2 weeks, and YouTube is my main interest, but I had the podcast channel set up, and I just wasn't updating it. So what I'll do is I'll take the audio from this, edit it, and then upload it, and hopefully I'll do that every week, and we'll see how it goes. If it just totally sucks, then we'll do something else. Hey, I run the show, man. I can do whatever I want. Who's the boss? I'm the boss. And trust me, I did pay the cost to be the boss. There's no doubt about it. So, just for some context, I've been taking a news topic. This is one of the things I'm starting to do. I'll take a news topic and then write 10 jokes, or what I call 9 lame jokes and 1 good one on the topic. So you'll see that as part of the content that we're going to do today. So with that in mind, let's start with hundreds of mysterious radio signals from space. That's right. Hundreds of mysterious radio signals from space have been detected by alien hunting artificial intelligence. The first signal said, "Can you hear me now?" Do they really want to contact us? Because it could be downhill from here for them. Hey, it could be ET still trying to phone home, or it could be from an advanced alien world, or it could be reruns of I Dream of Jeannie bouncing around the stars. Hundreds of mysterious radio signals from space have been detected. Wow, Ryan Seacrest is everywhere. Now, why are these signals, every time you hear these stories, these signals are so weak. They say they've detected weak signals. Why are they weak? Why are they hard to hear? Are they using Android phones? Maybe some alien's ship broke down and he's trying to contact OnStar. One of the messages said, "I tried texting you 3 times, but you didn't respond." Trump heard about it. He said, "Aliens. No more aliens. Build the wall." I don't think he knows what the term really means. And finally, what if the aliens turn out to be friendly? And I mean, way too friendly. Like annoying. Like what if they make contact, but within a day or two, we've had enough of them. We're tired of them. They invite us over for dinner. We're like, yeah, I can't make it. I can't make it. I'm sorry. That'd be a good title of a show, Annoying Alien. All right, here's another stab I took at 9 lame jokes and 1 good one. New York City subway authorities responded to a complaint about a delay by tweeting it would take 5 to 10 years to fix the delay in the New York City subway. Hey, in that time, Trump could be elected again and half the country will have moved to Canada. Could they fit? Well, I guess they have lots of land. They have lots of land up there. By that time, self-driving cars will eliminate the need for the subway altogether. One writer said, sure, sure, 10 years. I believe you. The next thing you'll tell me is the Mets are going to win the pennant in this century. One subway official said, hey, we could do it faster, but I just got into that series Mayans on FX. City Hall responded to the controversy. The mayor's office, we expect these problems will be better handled by subway riders. With the inevitable legalization of marijuana in New York, it's probably true. But I mean, 5 to 10 years. Heck, some hardened criminals are getting a lighter sentence than that. We haven't seen a delay like that since Chris Christie stopped traffic on the George Washington Bridge. One New Yorker said, way too long. Give me my cousin Joey a backhoe and a jackhammer, and I'll have it done in 6 days tops. 7 if Joey starts drinking again. Yeah, you're laughing. I know, that was my New York accent. 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. Heck, it didn't take that long for Giovanni di Verrazzano to discover the area in 1524. And finally, one subway official said, hey, where else are you going to go? Boston? Forget about it. All right, here's a humorous essay. Humorous essay I wrote about Journey to the Center of the Storm. This was, it was this past week. So at this writing, hurricane, did I just make up a word? Hurricane. At this writing, Hurricane Florence is beginning to hit the North Carolina coast. Why do TV networks send their anchors, weather people, and reporters directly into the very heart of storms to cover them? Weather catastrophes are the only time this happens. A top anchor would never agree to go into the heart of a dangerous virus outbreak. We need you to go into the heart of the virus outbreak to cover it. The American people are counting on you, says the producer. I'm on it. I'm on it, says the anchor. Brief me on the danger we face, he says, jaw jutting forward as he stands and throws on the safari jacket he wears for shoots from remote areas. The virus makes your hair fall out, drops your sperm count permanently, and causes your voice to rise 3 octaves for a 5-year period, the producer says, reading from a Center for Disease Control report as he follows the anchor toward the office door. What? The anchor says as he slows his strut toward the door. Drops your sperm count. Let's put Johnson on this story. Yeah, science is his wheelhouse. Put Johnson on it. America wants me to be in New York to supervise the coverage. All right, calm down. All right, here's 9 more lame jokes and one good one. You decide which one it is. About a Georgia small town is available for sale for $1.7 million. Now, if you buy the town, you could be the police chief, but if you are arrested, you have to identify yourself to yourself. 1.7 million for another 100,000 they'll throw in the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the bidding will be competitive. Kanye wants to buy it and name it Yeesusville. If you buy the town, you could stage your own parade, but it would consist of 15 people, 3 cows, and a blind duck with a limp. Trump said, I'm going to buy this town. Rename it Trumpboro and sell it for $1 trillion. A Georgia town for sale, but does it come with some sweet tea? Yes, of course. 1.7 million. That's the same amount the Atlanta Braves spend on rosin bags. Now, believe it or not, this small town, the news story I read, said it comes with its own opera house. And I thought, the opera house probably comes with a phantom, but he sings with a southern accent. Da-da-doo. A small town for sale in Georgia, somebody called Kim Basinger. Oh man, you have to be old enough to understand that one. And finally, if you buy the town, you also get a barber shop, which is true. But you can't tell the barber, make me look good. I'm going into town today. See, because you're already in town. All right. All right. So we have two. Let's see. All right. I guess I've been doing a lot of jokes. 9 lame jokes and 1 good joke list. Here's one. Cryptocurrencies have dropped 80% in the last 8 months. There goes my plans for Ditzel coin. But the interest keeps going up on the 7,536 credit cards I opened to buy Bitcoin. Cryptocurrencies down 80%. One guy said, this is worse than my investment in Trump University. The only thing that has dropped so fast was ABC firing Roseanne. Cryptocurrencies down. That means my personal net worth has dropped 63 trillion. See, because the only thing hanging lower now is my pasta belly. That should be a phrase, pasta belly. I understand. If I lost my bank account, sorry, here's the setup. One guy lost $30,000. Can you imagine this? One guy lost $30,000 when he lost his Bitcoin PIN number and couldn't remember it. I understand. This is the joke part. I understand. If I lost my bank account PIN number, I'd be out of, let's see, $4.76. Cryptocurrency's down 80%. That's my biggest personal loss since my hair started falling out in the 3rd grade. The only Bitcoin mining going on now is the excavation of my wallet. But you know, I'm not worried. I diversified my savings. Half with Bernie Madoff and the rest with weekly group lottery buys with my friends at work. Oh! How many more of these painful joke lists do we have to go through? Let's see. All right, we're going to mix it up a little bit. Let's do this one, then we'll come back to one more joke list, and we'll finish it out with a movie review. This is in honor of Burt Reynolds, the top 5 Smokey and the Bandit movies. There were several. There was like 10 or 20 Smokey and the Bandit movies. These are the top 5. So in honor of recently passed Burt Reynolds, a big movie star, one of the biggest in history, here are the top 5 Smokey and the Bandit movies. Number 1 was the original Smokey and the Bandit. See, the first movie is still the best. Starring Burt Reynolds and a bunch of other people, Smokey and the Bandit did what no other marketing had been able to do to that point in time. Sell a shipload of black and gold Pontiac Trans Ams with a huge gaudy eagle on the hood. Number 2. Top 5 Smokey and the Bandit movies. Number 2 was the 5th movie, Devil's Island. Finally nabbed by the grandson of the original Smokey, Burt is sent to prison on the same small remote island they sent Papillon to. Burt being Burt, he escapes by building a motorboat out of Trans Am parts he smuggled in his pants. Number 3, Smokey and the Bandit. Oh, please. Number 3, Smokey and the Bandit 3 is also the 3rd most popular movie. Burt gets caught up in an illegal oil drilling scheme and spends the rest of the movie trying to clear his name while romancing Sigourney Weaver and Kathleen Turner at the same time. That just seems painful. It just seems painful. The slot number 4 is taken up by the 2nd movie. Burt wants to follow in the footsteps of legendary daredevils like Evel Knievel, donning a custom-made fireproof jumpsuit sponsored by an early version of SoundCloud called Noise Water. Burt attempts to jump the Hudson River in a combination Camaro, Apollo rocket, and phone booth. And finally, the fifth most popular Smokey and the Bandit movie. It was the fourth one. Frustrated by a breakdown in salary negotiations with the movie's producers, Burt tells them he won't drive during the entire film. So they rework the script to depict Burt as an undercover agent hiding in Italian supercars shipped across the country on rail lines. We miss you, Burt, and thanks. Here is another 9 lame jokes and 1 good one. I'll leave it up to you which one's which. The story is more and more businesses no longer require a college degree. When did we get on that? When did a college degree become some kind of ticket that you needed just to get a job? That's ridiculous. Now, if you're a doctor, all right, or a lawyer or whatever, but just to be in sales or whatever, come on, man. Or to be in most jobs, you don't need a college degree. You need it because they tell you need it, but you don't really need it to do the job. All right, thank goodness more businesses are no longer requiring a college degree to get hired. In fact, a third of the world's billionaires don't have degrees. You'll get more college girls with your own yacht than sitting next to them in organic chemistry. Thank goodness more businesses are no longer requiring a college degree to get hired. Not one of my, quote, digital marketing professors even had a Facebook account. I mean, I guess you learn some things to do in college, like partying, but I learned to drink beer from my older brother when I was 9 years old. And nothing transfers to the working world. Not one company asked me to drop an egg 5 stories without breaking it. You don't need to go to college. I mean, really. Not one company asked how I was doing on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. College is more and more irrelevant every day. In my advanced computing course, we used punch cards. Not one boss has said to me, "So, what's up with this guy Pythagorean and his theorem?" You don't need to go to college. In fact, Steve Jobs didn't have a degree. You don't have to go to college to make enough money to buy a college. Let's try that again. In fact, Steve Jobs didn't have a degree. See, you don't have to go to college to make enough money to buy a college. Like I said, 9 lame ones. College is increasingly irrelevant. The most I learned was how to score under pressure in ultimate frisbee. You don't need to go to college unless you want to be a doctor. Then it helps to learn where a patient's wallet is located. And finally, you don't need to go to college. You can work for a really bad boss even without a degree. We all know that. We all know that. And finally, folks, at the end of this exciting live stream, this is a movie review of the film 8th Grade. 8th Grade movie review. 8th Grade, starring the amazing Elsie Fisher, made audiences both erupt with laughter and sit in weepy silence at Sundance when it appeared there in January 2018. And if you can get two cool movie critics and industry veterans to actually show human emotion, you've either just announced one of the nearby mountains is an active volcano spewing hot lava on the town right this very second, or you are Bo Burnham, the inventive comedian and YouTube star who created this great movie. Remember how much fun 8th Grade was? It was great. Yay! It wasn't great. Okay, maybe for 2 people. For the rest of us, eighth grade was a daily torture chamber of embarrassment, rejection, and disappointment. And that was just at lunch. In this movie, Elsie plays Kayla, a girl who meets the challenges of eighth grade by being almost completely silent at school. Well, sorry about that. I thought I fixed that, but apparently I didn't. Those are my notifications. Elsie plays Kayla, a girl who meets the challenges of eighth grade by being almost completely silent at school while recording YouTube videos on the down low that nobody watches about how to be confident and cool. Wait, that's what I do in real life. Her dad tries to help, and he's a really good dad, but in the end, dads don't know what to do ever. They are all just guessing. I remember one time my dad, who rarely dispensed fatherly advice, told my brothers and I that we should, quote, hang around good people. Okay then. Thanks, Dad. Here's my one big problem with this movie. I kept waiting for superheroes, big machines that transform into cars and vice versa, alien spaceships, warlords from a distant planet, and a comeback appearance from Shia LaBeouf in the passenger seat of a vintage Dodge Charger driven by Tom Cruise. None of these things happened. Other than that, go see eighth grade. 4 out of 5 stars. Folks, that's the end of this podcast. So, a little context now that we've done with the comedy. So, I have a Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems series of books and a YouTube channel called Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems. I also have a podcast on iTunes, but you know what? I wasn't updating the audio version of this. I wasn't putting any podcasts on there. I wasn't putting any content on the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever the hell you get podcasts. So I thought what I'd do is what I just did. Do a podcast of material that I've written, good or bad, from the past week. And it would be fun to read it and make fun of it at the same time. And that's what we just did. I hope you enjoy that. I am contemplating also moving my daily vlogs. I have a separate vlog channel. Moving them to this main channel. I might do that. I might not. I don't know. Because they're not that exciting. They're pretty boring. Like, well, a lot of them are me just walking around the neighborhood, and I'll vlog while I walk. I'll live stream while I walk. I'm not convinced I'll add that to this channel. Maybe I'll just keep it separate, because it is pretty dull. But, you know, for some people it might be interesting. We'll see. But meanwhile, this is the first of my rejuvenated, refurbished Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems podcast, and we'll see you next time.